obviously, I think it's an important time at the moment. So over your neck of the woods,
Yeah.
300 odd days left. we did speak a little bit more about the politics side of it as well. Yes, that last
Yeah,
time.
it is. I mean, that's what everyone's going to be, whether they know it or not. That's what everyone's going to be focusing on here pretty soon, because
Yes.
all the rest of the stuff is not happening. Meaning,
Mm,
if you the all the, I like to put myself in the other people's shoes, and the great reset that people have been waiting for, it's not
yes.
happening. I mean, yeah, the mandates have been rolled back. We tried to start something in Taiwan. China didn't go for it. We tried to start something. We're still trying to do something in Ukraine.
Mm,
Russia is way too cagey. They're not going for it. So whether anyone agrees or not, we orchestrated that whole thing, in the Middle East right now.
yes. Along
And
with Britain, along with Britain.
yeah, oh yeah. Britain is absolutely. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me put back up for a second. The SAS has been with us the whole time.
Yes.
They are complicit in everything. SAS, if you're listening, you know what you're up to. We give you all sorts of fun things to do, and you enjoy doing them. Well, not as much as we do, but you enjoy doing them. And really, the pivotal moment, which I talked about in a show not too long ago, was when Israel started going in, starting to turn the Gaza Strip into a parking lot.
Yeah.
I thought for sure it's like, well, here's the big chance. All the Middle Eastern countries that have a beef, they're going to jump in.
Mm-hmm.
And I did a little thing, and I know you probably didn't listen to it, where it's like, okay, Iran's ready to go, Lebanon's ready. Everybody's ready to go over there. Let's dogpile on Israel. And then all of a sudden, I realized, as I was looking at the military side of things, which is, there was a thing I covered called carrier groups. If you know what a carrier group is, which is, it's an aircraft carrier surrounded by a bunch of ships. Aircraft carriers don't go by alone.
Yes.
So there's a whole bunch of ships that support the aircraft carrier. And there are only 21 carrier groups in the world. And they're only controlled by 6 countries. Britain has 2, France has 2, Russia has 2, China has 2, and Italy has 2, right? You know how many we have? We have 11.
Wow.
We have more, and that's deliberate, right? We have more than the rest of the world combined, and half of those groups, or more than half of those groups, were our friends to begin with. And they're a very, very scary thing, a carrier group. It's a portable air base that you can set up anywhere off the beach and just hammer anything you want. And I'm sure what happened was, because Iran was supposed to give this big speech. And they were supposed to, they were going to call out everybody. It's like, oh, okay, everybody, let's go attack Israel. And if you're in other countries, let's make these protests violent. Let's start lighting things on fire. And I'm pretty sure that Russia called them, because Russia and Iran are tight. And they said, yeah, don't go for it. I'm sorry, you're gonna lose the strip, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Gaza Strip is lost. But it's better than the alternative, because once Iran jumps in, or would have jumped in, America would have jumped in.
Yes.
And then the whole thing turns into nightmare. And they've done everything they could to not go for it. They're playing the very. It's frustrating, because if you believe in stage plays, you're from the land of thespians, right? The villain is supposed to play his role.
Yeah.
And Russia's not doing it. They're like, nah, we've done the numbers. we don't want to do this.
It's almost like the script has now changed. It's like we're almost working off the 1970s all the way up to the 1990s sort of villainous script of sorts, and it's all flipped on its head now.
Right. Yeah, and now the script, nobody's going for it. I mean, China disappointed me to no end. It's like, look, China owns Taiwan. For anyone that's listening that doesn't realize this, China absolutely owns Taiwan. And we've been posturing, but we do a lot of business in Taiwan, and therefore we kind of treat them like a separate country. They're not. Yeah, no. They're absolutely not. And they can go in there. China can go in at any time and take it over. And so, we started posturing. Oh, we're thinking about expanding our military, putting some more stuff there. And China's like, don't you do it. We'll take steps. And they didn't do anything. And so, Yeah, so the point is nobody's doing anything. And so now the only thing that anyone's going to focus on, let's segue right into it, um, is the American election,
Yes.
which is fascinating in that there is a subplot that maybe you know or maybe you don't. That of course, Joe Biden. Nobody on our in our circles thought that Joe Biden was going to live this long,
No,
right?
not at all.
He's propped up. He hasn't fallen literally on his face on stage. Could he be a clone? I don't know. Who knows? But he's
Yeah.
just he's literally a puppet. He's a marionette being just led around,
Mhm.
and people don't even like talking to him. I mean, it's really sad when you see him like when the microphones are turned off. People don't even want to talk to him
Yeah.
because you're not talking to anybody. He's
Oh, no.
lost. Has not. He's just turned, I think, 81. Which again, I know some sharp 81-year-olds.
Exactly.
He's not one of them.
Mm.
So
it's a terrible representation visually, but this falls in line with the scripts which has been flipped on its head, that the superpower, the land of the heat of the free, the brave, and all the rest of it.
Yep.
Like, you have a powerful president up there who can articulate himself, who is that symbol of power. You don't have that anymore. And for some people, it's like, what's going on here? But for others, it's like, it's sign of the times, Mark.
And that should, and you're right. That should be the case, which is you make America look as weak as humanly possible, which they have done. Our president. I've never seen a president look weaker than this guy. Seriously, and I know a lot about presidents. This guy takes the cake. I mean, he is deliberately meant to look inept and just this doddering old fool. And then you've got the country divided. Red team hates blue team over here. You've got gender issues. You've got all sorts of protests, and I mean, the country could not be more divided. Yes. However, that does not negate the fact that we have spent enormous amounts of money on military spending, on military budgets, and those tools, those things are still out there. Mm-hmm. And so, even though there are countries, the analogy I tried to give was that we're kind of like the big drunk bully in the parking lot of the bar or the pub after closing, right? And he kind of teetering, and everyone wants to take a shot at him, right? But this guy is covered from head to toe in weaponry, right? Mm-hmm. So he's like blind drunk, his chin's out, he can barely keep his eyes open, but he's got like knives and guns and grenades strapped to him, right? And you realize it's like, yeah, you might be able to get a shot in, but if you don't take him out instantly, it's over. You are done. There's a high degree of probability that you and all your friends next to you are going down permanently. And so that's the problem. I call it the scary America problem, not to be confused with the David Bowie song "I'm Afraid of America," which is very true.
Yes, I like America's, that connection.
As weird and as screwed up as America is, they are still holding a lot of very dangerous things that nobody and come on, I don't want to drag this out too much, but there's something else that people keep forgetting is, do you really want to go after a country that has a place called Area 51? Really? You don't know what's in there. You want to find out. You want to roll in there. I mean, that's one of those science fiction movies where you just roll in with your forces right into Nevada, and all of a sudden, like, they open up these hangars and like these giant flying krakens come out, or ships, giant alien ships or whatever it is. Whatever it is, it's not going to be fun, and you've never seen it before because we've never seen it before. Exactly. And it's not good. Oh, wait, so let me talk about the election for a bit. So here's the subplot in the election. So everybody knows right now it's just straight up preface theater. Everybody knows that Trump's going to be the candidate. It doesn't matter, it doesn't matter what he's being accused of. The trial at this point, you're never going to get a conviction before the election kicks off. And if he became president, he just all that legal stuff. The legal stuff that's happening to him is just to slow the campaign down. That's it. But all you're doing is giving him an excuse not to go to all the states and campaign. He'll be like, I'm sorry, I'm in court. He'll just campaign from the courthouse steps. It'll be free press, and every camera in the world will be talking to him. International things will fly over here to New York, and they will, while he's in court, they'll just talk to him on the steps. It'll be a courthouse campaign, which I don't think has really ever been done. But here's where it gets weird. The blue team, there's a something happening in the wings. And honestly, 4 years ago, I would have said you were crazy for even suggesting it. But it is that before this thing gets too far, they will not endorse Biden and Kamala as, for running again for re-election. They will endorse Michelle Obama.
Michelle, I've been saying this for a while. Yep.
And Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, and we don't know who would be who. Would Gavin be VP? Would Michelle be VP? But it doesn't really matter. And the genius of it is that if you will get Michelle in there, you get Barack back in.
Exactly.
And it doesn't matter. It's like, well, he wouldn't be president. It wouldn't matter. The optics, meaning he's going to be on camera, and subliminally, he will be the Democratic Party will be restored to its former glory, I guess.
Former glory, exactly. But Mark, people are saying that currently Obama. Yeah. Well, what does Mr. Jones say? The Obama or Biden administration. So right. he's posturing and positioning that Obama's actually running the whole of this, not Biden. Not he's just the quote unquote figurehead.
Right. Well, okay. I have an opinion on that, and I have to look this up really fast. So, yes, I've heard the rumors that yes, Obama is pulling the strings. However, it's Obama's people that would be pulling the strings.
Indeed.
Obama himself, again, is just a figurehead. He is just the on-air talent. He was initially, there's a wonderful story, and I'm seeing if I can find here. Oh, come on. Find me who the freaking actor was. There was all cast and crew. 1 second.
Oh, are we going into where he said that he stole everything from him?
Oh, you mean the actor?
Yeah, the actor was saying.
Well, yeah. There was an actor, and of course, I'm not going to get the name right. Harry Lennox. That was his name. So there's an actor. So what happened was there was an actor who gets a lot of roles right now, a black actor named Harry Lennox, Lennix, and he was most notable for the playing the general in the new Superman movies with Henry Cavill, right? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And he was being interviewed in some radio station, and so they were talking about Obama, how great Obama was, and Harry couldn't take it anymore, and so he's like, look, when you're talking to Obama, you're basically talking to me. I was his acting coach. I was the one that gave him, the tips on what to do on camera. I was the one that helped develop his persona. It was directly tied to me. And of course, there were people listening to the radio, the other journalists, headed down to the station and, try to get some clarification. And by then someone had already gotten to him and he backpedaled pretty quick and he didn't want to talk about it. I don't think he's ever talked about it since because that would have been part of a government program. However, you are right in that I think it's Obama's people that are, running the Biden campaign, there's an illusion out there, and it's been an illusion with the American presidents ever since Eisenhower, which is, you've heard of like the nuclear football thing. It's like, well, oh no, the president at any given time could, open up the briefcase and hit the shiny red button. It's like, no. It's that we put that out there in movies and television. Yes. That the president is literally a compilation of a group of people. He's basically his own press secretary. He's his own front man for a consortium of people. But people personify him as like, oh no, he's the leader of the free world. No, he's not. It's his people that are the leader of the free. His staff, his producers, no different than, I mean, you've been in the, you know about producers. I mean, producers, the bigger the operation is, the more power the producers have. And the less power that the on-air talent has, to where when you get up to a certain level, the on-air talent has no say at all. Oh, and they might have a little bit of leverage here and there. It's like, I'll quit the show. It's like, fine, it'll take us a year to replace you, but we can replace you.
Yeah.
Producers, they're the ones that run everything. Sorry, backtrack a little bit. Michelle Obama, yeah, that's what I think they're going to do. They're going to sneak in Michelle and Gavin to replace Joe Biden and Kamala. And the reason I say this, and then we can move on to whatever you want, which is the reason why I think this is going to happen is when this conspiracy came out, the media, which is blue team basically over here, the Democrats basically run the media, they didn't go after it. Meaning it was an easy target. It's like, here's the stupid stuff Republicans thinking of now. Look at this conspiracy, right? And the reason why they didn't go after it is because, come on, let's face it, from blue team standpoint, it's a good idea. It works. You've got, even though Michelle has nothing to do with politics at all, nothing. Absolutely, for at least Hillary Clinton served, right? Yeah. She did the time. Michelle Obama, and we won't even get into the whole. All right.
Big Mike thing that people are throwing around.
Just do a quick reminder, Joan Rivers, rest in peace, right? Joan Rivers, anyone forgot about this, if you get, because this was a while ago, Joan Rivers, this is getting way back in the rearview mirror now, which was Joan Rivers, which was asked, I think it was TMZ, they caught her when she was going one of her routine facelifts, like one every 2 weeks or something like that. And I mean, she looked good for being 180 years old, but she was going in and she was already on her pre-meds. She had gotten down to a science to where she took the pre-meds before she even walked in. So she was half stoned walking in. And they said, and I quote, they asked her, it's like, do you ever think we'll have a gay president? Right. And she couldn't help herself. She's she's sharp. She's going, we already have one with Obama. Yeah. She goes, it's no big deal. Just settle down. Right. And then she walks up the steps and she couldn't help herself, right? She turns back around, and you know this, but I'm doing this for your listeners. She turns back around and she goes, and and his wife's a tranny, right? It's no big deal. And of course, this was back some years ago.
Yeah.
When nobody, the trans term wasn't even a thing, right? And he goes, what do you mean? She goes, transgender. She goes, it's all right. Everybody knows it's no big deal. And she never took it back. And that is the number one rule of comedians when you're talking about politicians. You can't, you want to make it into a joke, you make it into a joke. But if you drop a serious knowledge bomb like that out there, don't pull it back. And that was it. She died on the operating table.
Yeah.
And she never left that building. And
is that the case then? That actual was the last.
Yeah, that was it. It was over. That was the last time anyone talked to her. And to be fair, if I was working for an alphabet group and I had heard it's a fairly short meeting, which is people aren't going to let this go. There's going to be follow-up questions, and she's going to be asked about this a lot. It's only going to be a matter of time, and so it's like, well, she goes. Let's take care of this. I mean, it's sobering, but at the same time, it also sent a message to anybody else that was out there that was thinking of doing it. Fast forward.
Mark, sorry, I had no idea. It was that close. I knew she died on the operating table, but I didn't know it was post that interaction.
Yeah, nobody. That was it. And of course, you'd have to do that because you'd want to
protect.
Yeah, you don't want follow-up questions. You can't. You can't have follow-up because you don't want some people, throwing a microphone in her face, every chance, because eventually she's going to get stoned again or drunk or whatever, and they're going to do it. Fast forward to 2023, which was interesting. Now that we've got AI artwork out there, and AI is a whole other thing, which I don't want. The AI is self-awareness doesn't exist. Terminators are never going to exist. We're never going to solve the power problem, and AI doesn't exist truly self-aware because we don't know how to even begin to code it. I come from the programming world. I can tell you right now, the flowcharts don't exist. I can't even imagine what the flowchart would even start out like. But point is that AI artwork came out and somebody posted, very clever, because this was where I'm kind of getting to the rumor of Michelle running, because once the rumor started going out there that she was going to run, somebody posted some fake AI artwork of her pregnant, back when she was with Barack years ago, right? Point is like the fake AI artwork got circulated around, and then people were like, wait a minute, why are there no real shots of her pregnant? And there aren't anywhere. The closest you get is her pushing a stroller, and that's good enough for most people. It's like, well, she's pushing a stroller. It's like, yeah, but pregnant women get photographs taken of all the time, and especially if you're a politician's wife.
Yes.
It's the whole, you want those shots for the marketing, for the media,
to enrich the idea and view of the wholesome family. Look, the president's wife, she's pregnant, she's with child, and now she's gonna give birth.
Yeah, exactly. And those never were out there. Now, granted, it was some years ago. Her kids or the kids are 20, in their early 20s at this point. But and then of course also simultaneously this year, the guy that supposedly did did crack with Obama was having sex with him in a limousine. He resurfaced again this year, and again that's Red Team's taking this very seriously. They're like, anything we can to put any sort of doubt in Blue Team voters, we're going to do it. It's not like either side is innocent in their tricks they're going to play here.
So, do you think they're going to bring out the tinfoil hat style stuff reference? The wife and husband, I can't remember their names. The one of them's light skinned of sorts, and the other one's a little bit darker. And they're always with the Obama and Michelle. And apparently, that's their children, and that's actually their birth children, and they're being passed off as the Obama's children. So the conspiracy is
that they might try to push that a little bit out there. I mean, you remember their cook, their personal chef died recently.
Yeah.
They're under suspicious circumstances, and again, if you're an ex-president, you can get away with a lot of stuff. So we don't know what's going on there. But it is going to be. Let's get into the end game of this election, which is, I firmly believe that, and I don't know how, because I think there was supposed to be some sort of war going on and a pandemic, and this election thing was supposed to turn into a nightmare, because it's not going to be a rematch. It's not going to be Trump versus Biden. It's going to be Trump versus probably Obama's again, or Trump versus Obama's with Gavin Newsom is a thing. But do I think the red team is convinced? It's like, oh no, Trump can't lose this time. It's like, really? Because that's exactly what they would want you to think. Because remember, he had it in the bag the last time.
Yeah.
So even though red team's convinced, oh no, if Trump gets the nomination, he's gonna win. It's like, really? I'm willing to bet that red team isn't going to sleep that night, because when they went to bed the last time, 4 years, coming up on 4 years ago, when they, over here, because you guys were long asleep, or you were just getting up.
Yes, getting up. Yeah.
We woke up here, we went to bed. It's like, oh yeah, it's in the bag. We got him. It's over. Well, you wake up. It's like, oh no, you lost handily. Yeah. It's like, what? How?
Ow.
How the hell did it happen? So if you don't think that they would try to pull that again, you are kidding yourself. Of course, the red states have put in procedures to where they've locked down the voting process, but that's red states, right? It's the swing states which you don't know, and so So let me take it out one step further, which is, if you had to pick again a situation where America is more divided, then you have to have red team lose again, because red team at least has the ability to protest and threaten secession, to where red states will start bundling up together and not doing business with blue states and crap like that. Because if blue loses, right, and Trump becomes president again, oh yeah, it'll be insane. Either way, you can work with it. If Trump wins, yeah, there'd be protests in the streets, but to what end? Right. At that point, you could use your power, as president, to quash those protests pretty brutally if you wanted to. But no, I think to make America look weaker, you've got to have red team lose again. Which again, red team, I know Republicans would lose their freaking minds if he lost again. and you got to blame somebody, and then
Yes.
what? But remember the Capitol insurrection issue, where
well, I'm glad you mentioned that, Mark. I'm glad you mentioned that, because it just, the whole thing didn't sit, and I'm sure we briefly touched on this last time. The whole thing just didn't sit right with me. And then now the after effects, like, number one, it just seemed like it potentially, I don't know, it just seemed like, okay, there was very minimal police there and stuff. It just seemed to me that the whole thing on the police's part was staged. Like, okay, yeah, you're gonna enter the building. And as the video footage has shown, the police were letting the guys in. You know, there were a bit of to and fro in, and the barricades and that kind of stuff. But
you never saw the detailed breakdown, did you? Oh, I gotta send that to you as soon as we're done. I'm gonna where the forget about
thing.
What? Yeah, where he was focused on the one room where the girl got taken out.
Yes, I've seen it.
You have seen that? I'm sorry. I'm a huge believer in, because again, he made some wonderful points where towards the end where it's like, if you turn the sound off, there's amazingly little happening there.
Yeah.
It's all, you know the old saying, sound and fury signifying nothing. That's what we were kind of looking at. Plus, of course, look, I know protests, I know demographics. It was just like, you're telling me in a room full of guys, right? All guys, this little girl, she was the first one. She was one that charged the barricade. She's the first one through that window. And a single shot is fired by a guy off out of frame. Of course, we figured out who he was later. And that was it. And then, they ship her off. And it's like, no, you're absolutely right. It was not what it appeared to be. And but it was very effective in rounding up a whole bunch of people.
Exactly. This is the other side to it, Mark. So as you say, it was staged. It was definitely staged. People were like, this doesn't feel right. It doesn't sound right. And then later we're seeing all of the other information and evidence, video footage being released, statements being made, and then people actually breaking this stuff down. Yeah. And then Owen Schroeder's in the penitentiary, Mark.
Oh yeah. Oh, people did serious time for this.
Yeah.
And it basically turned into a giant mousetrap. Where people were, anyone that was caught. I mean, if you were caught, if your face was on camera anywhere inside the property, you did time. They found you, and of course, the other part of how they found you was, which part they're not going to talk about, is everybody brought their freaking phones.
Exactly.
They knew you were there. They knew. It's like, oh no. Yeah, they pinged everybody. They knew exactly where you were. They knew how many minutes and seconds you were in any given zone. And as long as you were outside, they didn't worry about it. Anyone who was inside immediately got tracked, and they found everybody. And of course, you can't tell them that. But it's weird. We're in denial, Americans especially, about how much tracking there is and how much surveillance there is.
Yes.
You've heard the running jokes. It's like, if you talk about something long enough in front of your phone, there'll be an ad that shows up that's related to what you're talking about.
It's the facts, Mark. It's not a trope. It's the actual truth. Yeah. The microphone, just think about it, early 2000s, mid 2000s, where people saying how your television's listening to you, your laptop's listening to you, any modern device. And you think, I can understand the technology, but would they be doing that with everyone? Yes.
Yeah, they absolutely would.
Everything.
I don't know if you caught the meme, but it was a wonderful meme that if you grabbed like a couple of the Nazi intelligence guys from the 40s and brought them to today, right? I think the meme was, like people on the phone, or reminding of the KGB from like the 60s and stuff like that, where the people on the phone was like, we probably shouldn't talk too much, that there might be a spy device on this phone, tracking our phone. Fast forward to 2020, where it's like, hey, Alexa, hey, spy device, tell me what the nearest coffee shop is, will you? And it's like, oh my God.
I
Yeah.
know.
It's like you put, I mean, yeah, I get it. They make it sexy. It's like, yeah, put a voice activated spy device in your house.
In your
And
house.
the Nazi thing is like, wait a minute. You got them to do this voluntarily? It's like, not just
Yeah.
voluntarily. They're paying through the nose.
Paying? Oh.
They're paying top dollar for this stuff. Like, yeah, and they're paying for the upgrades. And you convince
Yes.
people. It's like, oh no, you got to get the latest. Now the voice activated stuff didn't catch on as quickly as I think they thought, but everything else absolutely works to the point where oh God, the part that I really irritated me, and not a lot of people are going for it for various reasons, which is, for your car insurance. I don't know if they do it over there. You can get a little device, and well, it used to be a little device you plugged into your car. Now it's just an app on your phone, where basically
the driving trends and stuff.
Yeah, you can get lower rates on your insurance if you let your phone track how you drive.
Yeah.
And I'm to a full stop, and because they can integrate it. They know what the speed zone is where you are. Exactly. So they know if you're going faster than the speed zone. They know if you make a full stop. They know your acceleration rate.
Yes.
And all this crap. And it's like, yeah. And I'm going, yeah, I'm never going to be able to do that. ever.
Well, we're from the old school, Mark. That's why we're from the old school. Now, I tell you,
go ahead.
This is how they introduced that technology in the UK. It was designed for newly passed drivers. Yes.
Really?
So you've just passed your test, and I'll give you a real life example.
Okay.
My niece had a vehicle, passed a test pretty recently. She bought a vehicle. As you do, now this is the sensible way. The newer generation, they're going to be thinking, what on earth? That's what she did. She bought a car for £650. What we call a little runaround, a little banger.
Yep, okay. I know. Yep.
Yeah, just
to
get the experience on the road, make the mistakes, bumping, reverse into walls, all those little things that you're going to do when you first get a vehicle. Yep. So it's time for insurance, as we're talking about. They quoted her £3,000 odd pounds, Mark, to insure the vehicle
for a first time driver.
First time driver.
£3,000. That's multiple times more than what the car is worth.
Exactly. More than quadruple the times. So it's like, what are we? Yeah. So again, we fast forward now. So before, it was a physical black box that they would actually integrate into the vehicle, which, as you say, would check the trends of the driving patterns. Are you accelerating quickly? And how more in depth it is what your driving pattern like in regards to your fuel economy. And then they score you on each journey, and your premium can go up and down based upon how you drive. But ultimately, that's your access to the road. If you don't have that, you'll pay $6,000, you'll pay $10,000. I've heard people saying anywhere up to, if it's a new vehicle now, a brand new vehicle, we can be paying anywhere up to £8,000 a year for the insurance on that vehicle.
That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Yeah, but I can see it. Yeah, and the plug-in devices were where they started with, but the plug-in devices were just a stopgap until they could figure out how to make it with the app, and because the app makes it so much easier. And
it's trendy as well, Mark. It's trendy.
Oh yeah, cool. And you have an option, by the way, to win, because the app runs all the time. If you're with somebody, whenever you're out of the car, you can say, "Oh, I wasn't driving; I was a passenger." In somebody else's car, so that way your rating really shouldn't be affected. Although at that point they're still collecting data. It's like, oh look, they were with this person that wasn't driving safe, or maybe they have the ability also to figure out eventually who that person was.
Yeah,
and then maybe they have information that when they apply again, I could never apply for that type of insurance. I just won't do it. I've been doing it too long. It's like no, I grew up in a rural area, and stop signs are a guideline. They are not a rule.
Yes.
It's and honestly, you're also telling people it's like, okay, fine, a stoplights, get it. You can't go through a stoplight, but a stop sign at 1 a.m. in a road
Yeah.
where there's no traffic. Are you really telling me that now I have to come to a complete freaking
Full
stop?
stop.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
you do. And it's like, no, we're not. We're not doing that.
And but Mark, and another thing is that they're actually training people to drive that way now.
Oof.
So in England, as you know, we don't have a specific stop sign in that respect. It would be a giveaway. It'd be a broken line to say you've got to give way to oncoming traffic because you're now entering another main road, for instance. So
Ugh.
now, rather than, as you say, using your bloody head, and even roundabouts, you get to a roundabout and you're approaching a roundabout and you look to your right because that's in your case you'd be looking to your left to see where the traffic is coming from, and if there's
Sure.
no traffic you continue to go. No, they're trained now and instructed to get to the traffic, to the roundabout, come to a complete stop, put it into first gear, check both ways, and then if it's safe to progress and maneuver, you continue.
Wow. That is absolutely nutty. Oh, by the way, what is it? Is it 16 over there like it is here to be a first time driver?
Yes,
Oh, that's
indeed.
good. That's yeah.
So
That's
see,
amazing though. Three multiple. I mean that, and that's just so I'm clear here. Is that liability? Do you know what the difference is? Is so like 3,000 pounds a year? Is that full coverage or
full
is that?
coverage.
Oh,
That'll
that's
be
full coverage.
full
Okay.
comp, yes. And I
Because we
think that we call it third party. So that when you have an accident, you only pay for the person that you've hit's damage.
right,
Your own vehicle's not damaged, kind of thing. Which
right.
I think I don't know. Why on earth would an insurance policy even give you the option?
Well, okay. The theory is here's the theory behind it, which is if you have we call it liability, which is you only cover the other person because if both of you have liability coverage, then you're both paying for each other and both sides get covered, or depending on whose fault it is.
Yes.
But full coverage, the problem we have over here is we have a number of people that try to drive without insurance. And that's kind of it's been tougher to do because you can't even get a car registration without insurance nowadays here. You can't get like a driver's license without insurance. It's all integrated. However, that doesn't mean that's not going to stop people. There's some people that just don't drive. They don't have anything. And so there's always this chance that you're going to run into an uninsured motorist. And if that's the case, you should have full coverage. That way,
Yeah.
because otherwise you're screwed.
Yes.
But still, having that much money. I mean, it is ridiculous though to have coverage on a policy that's quadruple the amount that the car is worth.
Yes.
I mean, we base the coverage partially on model and year and all that other crap, but yeah, the first year. And by the way, it's always a great decision. I highly recommend it. Most of my friends were like this, which was the first car you give a kid, it should run, it should run fine, it should be mechanically sound, it should be ugly as hell, because they are going to ding that thing on more than one occasion, and you want to give them the peace of mind. It's like, oh yeah, they just backed into a light pole.
Yeah.
Who cares? To where they're not walking home or not talk. They're worried about telling their parents. I mean, yeah, their parents are still going to be ticked off, but their parents at the end they'll be looking. It's like, well, we're not fixing it. You're going to live with that dent.
We're glad that we bought the jalopy rather than in today's world. I want the C-Class AMG edition, Daddy.
Which is ridiculous. Kids should never aspire to. I mean, come on, you probably watching them on YouTube. Look up expensive car fails. Do that search, and watching a 16-year-old get a 500 horsepower car.
Oh my gosh, exactly, yeah.
2 weeks.
Back end just goes, yep.
Oh yeah. The back end squirrels around. It's like, look, you don't know how to drive yet. Drive a piece of crap, and then when you want more power, when all of a sudden it's like, you know what I could use? Because you may be one of those guys, kind of like me. It's like I don't really care about the power. It's like, do I have a passing gear? Great, I can get around this asshole. But the rest of it, it's like, nah.
I guess it's when you're younger. I will admit, when I was younger, teens, early 20s, I used to drive pretty quickly, and I did actually want very fast cars and stuff. And you get to a point when you have them and you're like, okay, you progress. You progress from, a slower vehicle to a little bit quicker and you get to a point where you're like, you know what, if I go any faster, I'm going to get a lot of speeding fines. And now over here, it's not like you can be clocked, you're doing 60 and a 50. here's your $100 fine and that's it, or maybe a court date and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
In England, they will give you points, points which are attached to your license, and if you have up to 12 points, you then banned.
Yep.
Along with that, you get a fine in proportion to your salary. So before it was just like a standard fine, so it's £100, £200, whatever. So if you're going 10% over the speed limit, then they're gonna garnish 10% of your monthly wages.
Get the hell out of it! You're serious?
I'm not. I may be incorrect in regards to the percentage, but they work out.
We only do that. There, by the way, they're stealing from the Americans on that one. Where we only do that in huge criminal cases. It's called asset discovery. So when somebody gets hit with like a major drug bust or whatever, and they find cash and cars and crap like that, they base the fine on how much assets, how many assets and can they tie the assets? Did they probably acquire this because of criminal activity? Oh yeah, then we're going to fine the hell out of you and good luck keeping your house. Fining people, oh my God, I can't even imagine what they do. It's like if they base your traffic fines on income, we lose our
Mark.
They lose their minds over here if they tried to do that. But I will say this, it is good incentive because if you're making, $500,000 a year, because you're right. You know what? I like the logic behind it. Because I know what they're getting at, which is if you're making £500,000 a year, $100 fine means nothing to you. And that happens over here all the time. People's like, fuck it, where they'll just berate the cop. It's like, write me the damn ticket. I'm leaving. Right. Yeah. It doesn't matter. This ticket means nothing to me monetarily. Only the points matter. And even then I've got friends. So yeah, if your ticket ran $5,000-$10,000, oh yeah, it hurt.
Yes, indeed. It really hurts.
Wow. Was that something new, or is that something that's been along for a while?
It's pretty new. I think they introduced that at least pre-zombie apocalypse, and it goes up as well, Mark. So you got 30. Well, now, so I'll go into some more detail. So they're now trying to introduce 20. They've got 20-mile-an-hour zones. Before, our lowest speed limit was 30 miles an hour on roads. Yeah. On minor roads, it can be reduced down to 10. But now what they're doing in town centers, in built-up areas, they want to reduce that speed limit down to 20 miles an hour now.
Ooh. Is that? Oh, sorry. You guys still do miles an hour?
Yes, not kilometers. Yes.
That's nice. It's nice to know it's not just us.
No, we'll keep it. We'll keep it. That kilometer stuff.
And that might explain why we never went to kilometers and all that other crap. If you guys didn't do it, we probably wouldn't do it either.
Yeah.
So you've 20 miles an hour. That's incredibly slow.
It's incredibly slow. It's a lot of strain. And think about the engine sizes. Now, most people, we've come away from small engine sizes in England, and we've adopted this SUV kind of thing. Yeah. Sports utility vehicle. We don't necessarily call it that here. We call them flipping 4x4s. Yep. So we've got loads of them on the roads, high powered, and it's